Hey you guys, happy Wednesday. As some of you guys know, I am on campus, but I am in FAFSA workshop today helping out our seniors who will be graduating. And so I don't want you guys to just sit around today, since your guys' performance task is going to be due a week from today, next Wednesday. So I need you guys to use this time wisely to get ahead on your work for that. Remember, the performance task is something that you need to do for my class in order to receive a grade. So you want to make sure that you are doing it to the best of your ability. So just to review, yesterday I introduced the essential question, which is basically the following. So you know that the role of civil disobedience, while it's controversial in many instances, it can be an important tool in our society. And so I want to know if the act of civil disobedience is effective in fighting social issues in America today, why or why not. So your job is not to tell me about a social issue. Your job is to tell me how effective or ineffective a civil disobedience act is today, modern day America, or like within the last 20 years. That's it. And you're going to create a presentation to do so. So a word about the presentation. We did talk about how many slides and what needs to be on them yesterday. But again, and the main important part that you must understand is this part right here. All information must be summarized and paraphrased. I don't want you copying and pasting, okay? Which is why you guys are all going to be getting, and I'll come back to this slide. You guys all have a copy, if you go to Google Classroom, it's also on here, but you guys all have a copy, a physical copy that looks kind of like this. Okay, so as you scroll through, you're going to realize, that after this page here, and I need to go find it really quick. All right, so I found it. So you guys have a copy that looks like this, which is basically just some articles that you guys can start looking on, as well as the instructions. And again, your facts cannot be copied and pasted or any of that. And so you have a packet that looks like this. So your introduction, okay, basically you're thinking of how you chose your topic. You guys need to fill this out before you leave today. And then after the fact, you're going to use the next 1 to 3 pages to look up at least one website per page. And this is what you're going to use to take notes on. These notes here should be what you use to put into your presentation. So I don't want you just taking the stuff from the internet and putting right into your presentation, because I have seen how that happens and it ends up being very disorganized. This is what we're going to call our rough draft. I do need a rough draft from everybody. But before you get to your guys' research, okay, I need you guys to pick a research topic, one of these 4 big umbrella social issues to focus on in order to prove the effectiveness or ineffectiveness of civil disobedience. And so the 4 topics that you can choose from is socioeconomic, race issues, environmental, or gender inclusiveness, or just gender issues. So I do want to know why this is interesting to you and what you think it has to do with civil disobedience. After you pick this big overarching topic, I do want you to narrow it down to one subtopic, because I don't need a very broad presentation. And so on this page here, some of the subtopics, I talked about them yesterday. So like within socioeconomics, there's some of these as well as others that are not on the list. Under racial, there's some of these as well as others not on the list. Same thing for environmental and gender. There are also some that I didn't write down on here. So if you want to, do your presentation on a social issue that is not on here, but is something that has to do with socioeconomic, racial, environmental, or gender, run it by me first. Chances are I'll give you the go-ahead, but I just need to know what it is that you guys are doing before you go ahead and do it. because I want to make sure that you're not, doing a whole bunch of work for no reason. And so pick your subtopic, right? Like maybe I want to do race issues, but then my subtopic is going to be Black Lives Matter. Or maybe I want to do environmental issues, and my subtopic is going to be water protectors, okay? And protecting water rights against oil industry or whatever it may be. And so potential subtopics that you are interested in researching. So like what aspect about that topic do you find interesting as it is? Like why did you choose this subtopic right here? Right? So if I go ahead and I say that I want to do, again, like immigration, right? Because I decided to choose race issues up here. I'll highlight it so you guys can see it. Right? And my subtopic is immigration. Maybe something that I want to know more about is like what is going on in detention centers. Maybe is there an impact when people go on marches, peaceful marches? How many politicians have actually stood up to fight for immigrant rights, right? Because if I know like there are many politicians that are standing up to fight for immigrant rights, then that might tell me something about how effective these forms of civil disobedience have been. Okay, so those are the things I kind of want to know. And then before you even start to research, write down what you do know about your topic, your subtopic, right? So maybe I already know that there are detention centers. I know that there are people who are crossing the border into our country to look for refugee status. I know that there are big caravans of people that leave their countries because it's so dangerous to live there. I know that when they arrive at the Mexican border, the Mexican government, the Mexican people treat Central American people with a lot of disrespect, and even more so, or just as so, when these people arrive at the United States border. And the thing that I want to know, maybe I want to know that, or like what happens when someone arrives at the border looking for refugee status? What do they need to go through? What is the process for, getting some documentation? Is it an easy process? Is there anything that can be done about making that process easier? What kinds of marches, right? Because this has to do with civil disobedience. What are some things that people have already done? Have they, done some murals and some art to bring light to the matter? Have there been books written? Have, some of the things like calling your congressman to ask them to back you up on these issues, has that helped? So maybe that's what I'm going to write right here, what I want to know about my subtopic. So before you guys leave today, I need you guys to pick a topic, right? An overall research topic, and then a subtopic, and fill out the rest of this page. This is due before you leave today. And you guys return tomorrow, you guys are going to use this information here to come up with a thesis. And you guys can use this thesis for your thesis page, which is going to be your second slide, where you're going to pose your argument and your purpose. You can use this thesis as a sample of where to start. Right? So depending on what you're arguing, civil disobedience is effective when addressing immigration issues because, and then I'm going to have my 3 reasons here, or is not effective when addressing immigration issues because, and again, 1, 2, 3. So the same way you guys made a thesis for your archetype analysis paper, you're going to do the same kind of thing here where you have 3 things that you're going to talk about, because each of those 3 things is going to be one of these slides here. And I'll show you guys kind of an example of what this looks like tomorrow. But remember, for today, before you leave, I need this page filled out completely. So don't forget your name at the top. When you are done, turn it into the bin. And that's going to be it for today. All right, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am going to come by and I'm going to check every single one of these, and then we're going to do thesis statements and we're going to get to work. So don't sleep on your rough draft, please. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please be on your best behavior and stay on task. Bye.